Alright, welcome back to Map Gaming, where we are going to be doing a few added changes real quick. I just kind of wanted you to see the cargo line that we have set up. It's looking rather pretty. Georgia keeps being difficult. Let's just leave it at that. Keeps going online, offline, online, offline, so it's one of those fun things. Alright, so we're going to kick into a time lapse real quick and then I'm going to get back to you. We're going to connect this construction site all the way over here. I did some preamble stuff. I added another track, I added another thing, and got Delaware all situated to get hooked up. So without further ado, let's get into this and connect these two tracks. It shouldn't take long. All right, and away we go. Alright, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. Now, I told you in the last episode that we were going to be working on passengers. We already have our passengers kind of set up in the inner cities as far as like what we're delivering goods to. I did pause it, so we will check in on our Delaware construction line, but as far as everything's concerned, this one should start being a profitable line. At least we're getting the New Jersey construction materials up and going to where they can actually, produce and get, level up. So then we can start providing to other customers. That is going to be priority number uno. Now, what I'm going to attempt to do, and we're going to do this in very slow batches, but what I want to do is I want to get Connecticut, Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., and Maryland all set up on some sort of train construction route to where we're having passengers go from Washington to Maryland, Massachusetts to Connecticut. Now, what I'm kind of thinking is that one, I want a train for sure to go from here. We'll probably curve around this DC forest and then come in to here. Now, something we have to keep in mind, and this is where designing and all the other fun stuff with the city comes into effect. Now, I don't want anything over here. We are going to be over here in this area because industry, it doesn't make much sense for us to come over in industry and be shipped out, but it does make sense from a commercial standpoint for there to be a train station here. And the same with Maryland. Now, Maryland, we're lucky in the the commercial area is kind of on this northern part, so we can kind of crisscross and do some weird things. Now let's look at, okay, Massachusetts in a good spot, and then Connecticut is in a good spot if we want to go around the mountain, or at least through the mountain. Either way, around it is going to be less expensive, through it is definitely going to be a price tag. But what I'm seeing right now is DC is going to be a little bit difficult. So let's get the buildings set up. And all of these are going to need to be, you know what, we're going to go 160 and we're going to do 3. Now, I am planning on, what we're going to do is we're going to finish this road. That's what we're going to do. We're actually going to delete this road. And then we're going to put in a road right here that will connect these two. Very good. Now let's go to trains and get this kind of connected in a way that hopefully makes some sense. Maybe get rid of this one and this one, and then we're going to put this road further in. Let's adjust this if we can. That should work. Now let's try it. Now let's try a train station. All right, I like that. Just like that. All right, now that we got this placed, we're going to go over here to Maryland real quick, double checking where our things are at. Let's get this. And I don't like, and this is part of playing the game, we want to make sure that we're kind of future proofing, I guess is the word. I want to make sure that this is kind of in an area that we can deal with. and grow, if that makes sense. And once again, we'll come up here. This is going to be kind of a slow, painful episode, but I want to make sure that one, we have what we need to. Let's go ahead, get these tracks laid down, and we're going to go on the inside one, pulling out right here, and then we're just going to kind of continue this along the way. I didn't do what I wanted to do. No. Alright, so we are going to exit that out. That's the only, I mean, to me, this is kind of a light problem. Alright, let's refund up to here. And then we're going to redo this one. Granted, they're not going to be going fast out of the gate, which is, I mean, they can deal with that. Alright, hold on. Alright. Alright, we're gonna have to do some editing. Obviously, we don't need that road. And we don't need this road. We don't need this. Alright, now we can come in here. And train this up, kind of like that. Still keeping some speed. And then we can come in and obviously get rid of all this. There we go. And button that up just nicely. And then before I forget, we're going to come in with a dirt road. This. And then make sure everything is connected real quick. There we go. All right, sweet. All right, so far we got this little thing going. Now let's continue on our way. And then we will, I might have overshot that just a little bit. Oh, we have 3. Ooh. Yeah, that might be bad. I might have to go and move one of those lines. Alright, we'll deal with that in a second. Welcome to the fun of building a... There we go. Alright, and then I think it's in our best interest to not do something stupid. There we go. And then we're just going to repeat this whole process over because I'm oh no. Oh, does it fit? It does fit. Okay, we're good. I was about to say, we might have to go and redo this. Come on. There you go. Work with me. Alright, I need to see where this other... Ooh, that was probably a little bit... Okay, we did that right. Connect to the right one. There we go. Just like that. All right, and then as far as signals go, and then we will do that. And then it should be pretty straightforward down over here. And then we'll put one kind of in the middle. Like that. And then we'll put one over here. If I can do it right. There we go. That's not... Alright, so we have our line connected. Now let's go over here, hook this guy up, and this guy, and our color for this one is going to be purple. And yes, that's not what I was really discussing, but we're going to do about 100 seconds on each one. There you go. And that will do just nicely. Don't worry, I will come in and I will edit the name. Now we can click on this and all of this is added to it. So everything in this corner will be added to it. Now what I want to do is we're going to make a bus stop, buildings, people, something like that. And then let's go ahead, re-look at this, Washington. All right, so 1 and then 2 and then 3. So before that one, I want to add this station here. So now it goes 1, 2. And you know what we're gonna, if we came in through here, went through this way, and then it would make a little bit more sense. So while we're thinking about that, let's go in here. Put this one right here. Just delete that one. And then come in. Alright, so 1 goes into here. Alright, we're going to need a waypoint. And then go from 2, add a station. And there you go. Oh, that's probably what's jacking everything up. Oh, come on, delete. There you go. And then buildings. Oh my gosh. There we go. Now it's looking like one smooth action. And that's fine because they'll go here, they'll drop off. Then if we have any shoppers, obviously, then, you know, we're moving with it. Sorry. Now where do I want to put my depot? I feel like it would be in our best interest. Hold on, we gotta figure this out. Okay, so we're going this way, buildings. Let's go depot, click that. And then we'll rotate this just a little bit. Actually, we'll put it kind of like that. And click the same button again, go to tracks. And I don't know why I'm zooming in. There we go. And there we go. That should be what we want. And then we'll have signals right there, right there, and that should work. All right, so then we come in here, buy, and then we're going to go to any cargo type. Do we have any other? No, we do not. All right, so we are going to do something with the fastest speed. And right now it's probably looking like you, so we'll get 2 of you going. And then we'll go passengers. And right now we're looking at like 40. So this one will make it go a little max effort, but we can only go 40. So we're losing about 10. So we're going to do 3 buy, and then we are going to put these on line 1. Now, before we hit play, we have to come over here and fix this one. So we have, let's click on Maryland. All right, so here's our people. They come over here. Now, how do we want to do this? I think a better way would probably be, because we're going to add a station, and it's probably best if we go this way. And then, so instead of going to 2, we're going to go here. No, that's not what I wanted. So from 1, then we go to here, and then shopping, and then industry, back to residential. And then what I want to do is, now I want to look at, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, hold on. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. It might just be easier to do this, manage vehicle. Alright. Let's replace all those with, we're needing passengers. Those. And then we are going to duplicate 1. And then we'll do the same over there. So we're going to get that going, and then I'm going to come over here to Washington. And then, real quick, I should probably look at the vehicles. Where's Washington? All right, we already got 4. So, that should be fine. Let's see how interactive our bus goes. We got a bus station. All right, we're already starting to draw in some people here, which is fantastic. They're walking, but hopefully that will change. How many did we let off? Oh, we got 1 person here. Do we have any people here? No, we do not have any people at the terminal yet. Probably need to wait a little bit for this line to get going. Oh, there we go. We have 2 trains? We do have 2 trains. Alright, so we're not hauling anybody yet, but I mean, it's only time will tell. Hopefully we'll get there. We'll have an interest showing. Alright, we got 3 people. That is an improvement. So now we're connected here. How many people we got here? We got 4 people. So there is an interest in intercity travel. Now, I don't know exactly where you see. We're having some very poor. There's a lot of poor stuff here going. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to fix some of that. Make that a little bit better. we'll get on that. I'll do a cutaway and we'll break to that. Those are all cargoes. There we go. We should probably look at these ones that, ooh, that's a high volume right there. Which one's that? This looks like residential, so people are trying to get out of residential areas in Washington. So we might need to up our bus connection, and we have we have 32 people. Youcha mama. Doing this, we might have just caused a population boom. I can't even imagine what we are doing here. So we got commercial. Wait, we might add a, nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, maybe that is what I wanted. I mean, for the most part, we've kept our numbers down. I mean, that's good. So we're not having a whole lot of intercity travel, which is good. But we're having a lot on the bus. Okay, anyway, going back. Okay, so we have industrial over here, which isn't necessarily a problem because we might end up getting a line over here that might need to be shipped in. So with that being said, we're going to go passenger. Trying to make it to where it's not like super jacked up. Alright, so we have that one. It would be nice to come over here. What we could do is then we could configure passenger. Can they not touch? You know what? We'll do this. That should be fine. Oh, then I have to do landings. Make sure those are, but for the time being, what? That don't make no sense. Alright, and then we will have a bus connection. And then we will go from Maine. Thank you. Or Maryland, my bad. To there. That's not what I'm worried about. It's that. Oh, that's not it either. Alright, now let's make that purple. Alright, and then we're going to have to add one more. Actually, we're going to have to add a road. A road would help in most aspects. There we go. Oh, click it. There we go. Building. Nope. Sorry. We need buildings in this one. Probably best if we do it that way. And then add one more road. Something like that. There we go. Now let's look at Maryland. This one. So you're coming from 3. And yeah, let's add this station. There you go. And then let's go eyeball it, Maryland, and we are going to duplicate one more. And then probably do this by, we want passenger. Oh, you can hold passengers. You know what? Go big or go home, right? And then we'll do line 2. You know what? One of those things where you're just like, come on, people, really? Alright, passenger, let's get the large one. Landing, large one. And then let's go back over here. And we shouldn't have a problem now adding this boat. There we go. Now we need to come over to New York and then figure out our bus route. Alright, so, oh, that's Maryland. Alright, so I say before we go 3, let's see what this looks like. So once you pick up in the industry, you go over here and then, yeah, that'll work. And then we'll go over here. Nope, I'm not making 6 of those. And then we will place you with those. Get it going. There we go. All right, so now we have Maryland, Washington, D.C., and New York hooked up. Obviously, they're a little bit slow, but I mean, you can't really fault everything. So we're starting to move in a much better pace. Now, figure out this nightmare. And let's figure out where our next... Oh, perfect. Let's go passenger. Would it be better? I think it'd be better to kind of do it right about here. At least in that sense, we'll have... Now, figuring out this logistic nightmare is a different story. So, let's get the train on the tracks. And we need to go up. Nope, wrong way. Hold on, figuring out my buttons. Alright. There we go. That's kind of what I wanted. Alright, now we can go down. Make sure we don't dig a hole into the ground. There you go. And then it should just be as easy as 1, 2, 3. Oop. Sorry, we're getting a little up close and personal here. Just like that. And that's fantastic. Alright, so Now we repeat process. And I know a great question is why aren't we including Georgia in this? And we will. It's just there's a lot of cities that need our attention. And it's not just, ooh, wrong button. It's not just these four. It's just these four are the easiest to kind of, one, connect up to each other because of all their proximity. Connect. Something like that. Alright. And we'll have that way and that way. And now I just gotta figure out how to get alrighty. Alright, we're going and we're stopping. And let's add one more. Actually, we're going to make Washington, D.C. number 1 and you number 2. Once again, make it purple. And drop it down. There we go. Alright, now how to make these connect, because I gotta figure out which way is which. Alright. So and yes, I do this all the time. Something like that. And then we do this and that. Oh, I'm gonna do it one more time. Alright, so we gotta make sure you stop. And then, it'd probably be in our best interest to actually stop right here just in case. Alright, so we go back over here and we're going to go by. We're going to add 3 and then we're going to go steam, drop it low, bing, and we'll do, come on, there we go. And then I need to go to line number 3. There we go. And then now we have people going all the way over here. Now we need to do the same process all over again. Alright, so Connecticut 1. Actually, it'd probably be in our best interest to add one more building. Alright, we're going to do something like that. Yes, they're going to have to walk, but I mean, it beats having to do. Uh-oh. Let's make sure, yep, now we're playing with fire. Alright, now let's go to the line, Connecticut. We're going to replace. And then we're going to add 2 more. because things are about to start popping off. We have our trains on our line, which is fantastic. Let's drop down this menu and see how we're doing. All right, so we got 6 wanting to go this way. We have 36, 37. I mean, we're really starting to make this a very profitable line. Do we not have any roads being connected? Interesting. So I pretty much blocked these guys off from any city whatsoever. Just plug private, like no one leaves the city. Does anybody leave any of the cities? Interesting. So I think I might have done something in the process of this map that pretty much devastated everything. But I do apologize for that, and it sucks, but I mean, we will get it. I mean, we're in the process right now of getting everything up and running and doing all that. So, oh wait, let's see how many we have on this boat. We have 4 out of 100. So this one's going to lose a lot of money for us. But once we get the line kind of established, it will progressively start helping us out. I just wanted to get a big enough boat to actually worry about doing something, I guess is the right word. Well, I was more wanting to. All right, so we got 5 people waiting. I mean, it's a slow draw. Obviously, New York's probably one of our smaller cities. Good night. How many people? We got 50 people there. Holy cow. All right, let's go to New York, and I'm actually gonna double that one. And I'm gonna, yeah, we got 6 vehicles, and the only reason why I'm gonna double this one is because now, one, we've obviously added a further distance, so them having to continue that loop is causing slight problems. How are we doing over here? Is anybody interested in this train? We got 25 people. All right, howdy doody. So we got a bunch of people heading to Washington. Yeah, that's definitely going to start upscaling our peeps. I'm just one, I'm kind of curious how much we're going to pull in from this huge thing. I'll probably add another station, and that one will go to Georgia, because this is about to get exceedingly hectic, and trying to have a train line share this line would just be stupid. So we will keep that the way it is. 206,000. Dang, those got to be some expensive tickets. Can you imagine that? That'd be nuts. Now our next goal is Massachusetts, and just for hindsight, we're probably looking, you know what, nope, wrong one. Streets, something like that, and then literally putting the train station right here. Like that. And yeah, we'll do something like that, and then basically snake this thing around to where it will probably follow this track, build up here, jump over, and then come into center slot there. Still got to get Connecticut in Massachusetts set up, which is probably going to be easier considering where we put our train station to go like this way. And then I got to get Maryland and Massachusetts set up, which would be going this way. And we might not use this third station because the only place I could think about taking this is going from here to Connecticut. And then so we'd have all 4 of these cities being able, it doesn't matter where you're going, you're able to connect. But like I said, you can grab a train from Washington and then you can get on a boat and go to New York, or you can grab a train and go from here to Massachusetts. Or, you know, like, I don't know if we need to have all the cities connected. We just need to have a way to get from each place, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to work on this a little bit and then try to get some sort of a fundamental plan going. I'll probably do this off screen in between this episode and the next one, but connecting Virginia and New Hampshire, it's fairly simple. We just have a lot of junk in between here, so that's probably why I do it off screen. And then we'll also connect New Hampshire and Virginia to Rhode Island, which is easier to do, but it still has a lot of junk. And then we will connect one of these cities to DC, probably Virginia. Just go straight through the mountain, pop out over here, and then you can take another train and get to New Hampshire if you truly desire that. But yeah, let me real quick connect my last city, which would be, we're going to go from Massachusetts to Maryland, and I may just switch those 2 spots open and then put the last one going to Georgia. We'll see how that works. How are we doing over here with we're doing excellent. We can probably go to this point. Actually, we're going to do this. Replace cargo, construction material, bam, replace, and then we're probably going to duplicate that. But it looks like this is working out quite nicely. We just need to get Georgia figuring out their business over here. And then we might end up connecting Midland and Georgia together. And obviously it's a slow process, because like once you start connecting them, you kind of have to keep going, getting Delaware connected, maybe to Massachusetts. So then obviously this becomes a smaller lane. But yeah, give me a second and then I'm going to connect all these up, and then we'll get I'll bring you back in and we'll kind of see what we're dealing with here. Oh, that was a great deal of work, and oh man, I wish I could say that didn't take me a while, but it did. So that being said, we have transportation. We are going to and fro, there and then, and all over the map now. I said I was going to wait on Georgia, but I decided that, you know what, it's one of our biggest cities, we might as well get this thing going. So that being said, let's look at everything we got going. So we got passenger lines going from DC to Maryland. We got Maryland going to Massachusetts. We got Massachusetts going to Delaware. We also have Massachusetts coming all the way over here to Connecticut. We also have DC going to Connecticut. Connecticut, I did, before I started recording again, I did make it to where we can add another line going to Georgia. Right now this is a hard curve into Georgia, and then once we get here, obviously Georgia isn't necessarily the ideal situation in any regards, and this is kind of why I'm going to say this. So commercial areas like pretty much dead center, and I could see the residential spanning out around it. So I put it over here, and whatever happens happens, because there's no way I can put one here and like have like a train station going over the bay, if that makes sense. So I put it over here. If commercial develops out this way, then so be it. If residential does, then I mean, it is what it is. Eventually we're going to get Georgia South all the way up here to New Jersey, and then also connect New Jersey with Delaware. I think that would create a nice little circle. Also have Connecticut come over here to New Jersey, and then I don't think we'll connect Delaware and Connecticut together, because if we connect New Jersey and Delaware together, then Delaware can go to Massachusetts, and then Connecticut, or New Jersey and Connecticut. That one I'm not necessarily too worried about, because we'll have multiple ways to get there. It just won't be a straight shot. And in this time of me building all this extra junk and going all over the place and deleting stuff and doing just a bunch of other stuff that we had already done before, I found out DC's new merchandise that they're going to need, and it will be bread. Now, lucky for us, we have a couple of bread factories going pretty strong. One of them being here. We're already shipping bread down here so it can go to New York. So it won't be too much to get maybe a small little shunt train. I'm gonna call it a shunt train, and basically, yeah, that's we're kind of in the middle of having a cars come this way or a train, but either way, having bread being delivered to this station, and then instead of them taking gears back, well, they take gears back, but adding 2 gears, it would be gears and then bread would be dropped off here. And then once we get that, then we'll deliver this to DC. And yes, Massachusetts now has all 4 items. Holy cow, that is crazy. Yeah, so they're going to need goods, and then they're going to need fuel. Fuel is easy enough because we got Midland coming over to the DC log, and then maybe shipping it over here. We're gonna have to add a couple of different cargo things to that, and then I want to say this is also bread. Right now they're flickering. I didn't realize Massachusetts went all the way to the holy grail of everything. So and that's just 4. We still got 2 more that we could possibly end up delivering to Massachusetts as well. So hopefully we will have something easy, because that's only going to get only going to get more challenging, to the point where we do have to actually put like large depots in and figure that out. It's all part of the process. I don't know how to get goods over from here all the way over here, because like we're already boating them. I mean, train the rest of the way, but that's at the beginning, that's going to be a small train for very little, and we don't have any other fuel deposits. And when I saw that we're getting fuel over here, I was like, well, maybe kickstart this, but how are we going to do that? I mean, we got a well, we got a refinery, and then we got the fuel refinery, but that's an unfavorable triangle. I can tell you that much just by looking at this, because you're boating it, and the best you can do is boat it here, and then train it, truck it, whatever, the rest of the way. Then we're trucking it back to then boat it over here, or train it from all the way over here to all the way over here, and then putting it on another boat once again to ship it all the way over to Massachusetts. And that's just, so you got 1, 2, 3, and then 4. That's 4. Like, obviously it's 4 moves any way you go, but like, this is one vehicle, this is another vehicle, and if we decide to thread the needle with a train like this, that's another vehicle. And then, so we have 2 different kinds of vehicles. We got 1 boat, 2 trains, actually 2 boats, 2 trains. And trains are the best way to transport stuff, in my opinion. I could be wrong about that, but boats are probably the worst. I'd go trains, cars, boats. Airplanes we don't have access to. Between this video, after this video ends, I'm going to do a jump ahead to kind of, because I think we're almost at the brink of actually getting vehicles, because right now, if you do, like, our trains are pretty solid, but we're still using horses. That's still a very true statement on our hands. And fuel, we're knocking out of the park. Tools, we are not doing so hot on. And tools should be the easiest thing that we're doing. I don't know if because we only have 1 supplier, this thing has like 3, 4 suppliers. Holy cow, that is a lot of suppliers. We are rocking pretty hard on that one. So we're doing a pretty good job. I'm also, in between this episode, I'm going to replace all the drop off vehicles. What do I call these? Oh, it would help if this would actually do it. So all of these lines, I'm going to come in here and we're going to redo this again. But all these vehicles right here, we're going to refurbish them because we need to get this noise pollution down. If I go over here, we have a lot of poor and very poor. Midland's very poor, and it's only being delivered tools. We haven't fully invested in this yet, which, I mean, a train up here somewhere, like right up against this road, train right there, bam, and then have a cargo point, and then they could pick up the grain on the way down, add more to this, and then back up. So there's still things being processed here, and obviously South Carolina's rocking pretty hard with this. They don't really have a whole lot going for them other than that. We'll need to kind of figure that one out. But we could also boat, train, whatever, something, this oil here to get that going, because I want to say this guy's got a couple of nope, suppliers. We got 3 suppliers going. They're not all that great, but like, you know, we got stuff going. So let's look at our lines, see how profitable we're being. Yeah. The only one that's in a loss is Maryland to DC, and that's not even that big of a loss. 200,000, you can't really, super red. I really wish I could isolate this to just cargo or passengers. Let's see what we can do. All right, so this is most of our cargo, or our train passports. Some of them aren't doing too bad. DC to Georgia is definitely starting to pick up some momentum. Frequency kind of sucks, but at this current point in time, we're not really moving a whole lot of people. I want to go to ships to see how New York's or this one's doing. That's pretty bad, but at the same time, like, you gotta, it is what it is. So 16 minutes, but we're trucking it a long way. So we got to get it from point A over here, which we got 20. That boat can hold 100. We're over here with 10. But it is going to help New York boost its population by getting some consumers over here, even if it is for work or whatever. However, our little sims justify it. We could probably, they're probably not going to want to do it, but if we wanted to, we could put a passenger boat yard here because we're having to truck it. Yeah, we could put a passenger boat yard here and then have them no, we wouldn't do that to them. But we could have them go here to Maryland. I mean, we could call it a vacation, a cruise. We could do the same with Delaware to Pennsylvania, boat them this way. Because I think we're gonna have to boat them anyway, because this is pretty much an island. And we already have Pennsylvania set up. We have transporters going. That was ready to get the fuel going. So once we get fuel going, we will be in a good spot there. We are receiving our construction material. We're just not growing with it. Crazy that we have all this fuel, but we're not doing anything with it. You'd think we'd be doing a lot with it. That's probably having to somewhat up this production. Because, these aren't even filling up yet. We could get this up to a little bit more and just increase the frequency, we'd probably be doing all right. But we're almost at the last stage of this one. Once we get to like delivering 800, that'd probably be putting another line on this train, or on the train line, just to get that going, because it's maxed out. It can't go no more higher. And I know that didn't really make a whole lot of sense. That was more of a Yoda thing. But anyway, so if you like what you saw, hit that thumbs up. I do appreciate it. It does mean a lot. Think about leaving a comment, something I'm doing, not doing, whatever it may be. I do appreciate it, and I do read all the comments. So until next time, yeah. Keep looking out for these videos. I will be posting them as frequently as I am able to, and I will catch you next time. Well, later.